Ladies and gentlemen, it holds promises, possibilities, and potential. It tells us that we can rest today and chase our dreams later. Tomorrow feels safe. But let me ask you, how many of your tomorrows have turned into nevers? How many times have you told yourself, I'll start working out tomorrow, I'll apply for that job tomorrow, I'll follow my dreams tomorrow? And yet here you are, a dreamer with ambition in your heart, but laziness in your bones. You want success, but you're waiting for motivation. You wish for greatness, but you're waiting for the perfect moment. Let me break this to you. That moment will never come. The lie we tell ourselves, we think laziness is harmless. We think delaying things until tomorrow is just a small mistake. But here's what nobody tells you. Laziness is the silent killer of dreams. Not because you don't have talent, not because you're not capable, but because you are too comfortable in waiting. Success is not waiting for you. The world is not waiting for you. Life is moving forward and you're stuck in the same spot thinking, I'll move. Later, tomorrow is one of the most deceiving words in our vocabulary. It carries a false sense of hope, a dangerous illusion that keeps us trapped in inaction. When we say we will do something tomorrow, we convince ourselves that we are not giving up. We are simply postponing. It sounds harmless. It feels like a responsible decision. But in reality, it is a silent betrayal of our own dreams. Think about it. How many times have you set a goal, made a plan, and told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? Maybe it was a new habit you wanted to develop, a project you wanted to work on, or an opportunity you wanted to pursue. In that moment, you truly believed you would do it the next day, even felt a sense of relief, as if making the decision to start later was almost as good as actually starting. But then tomorrow came, and suddenly there was another excuse. You were too tired, too busy, or just not in the right mindset. So you pushed it to the next day, and then the next. And before you knew it, weeks, months, or even years had passed. The cycle of postponement is a trap, and most people never escape it. The problem is not that we don't want success or that we lack ambition. The problem is that we allow ourselves to be fooled by the idea that time is endless, that we have unlimited tomorrows to waste. But the truth is, time is slipping away, second by second, moment by moment. Every time we choose to delay action, we are not just putting off a task. We are putting off our own growth, our own potential, and ultimately our own success. Laziness disguises itself as comfort, but in reality, it is slow destruction. It makes you believe that you are preserving your energy, that you are making a wise decision by waiting for the perfect moment. But perfection is an illusion. There is no right time, no perfect conditions, no magical day when everything will fall into place. There is only now, and every moment spent waiting is a moment lost forever. Some people say they work best under pressure, that they need a deadline to truly take action. But what if your dream doesn't come with a deadline? What if the things you truly want in life, the career you dream of, the body you wish for, the happiness you crave are all waiting for you, but you keep pushing them away with excuses? If you always wait for urgency to push you forward, you will never take control of your own life. You will always be reacting instead of creating. The scariest part about delaying action is that it becomes a habit. The more you do it, the easier it gets. And one day you wake up and realize that you have spent your entire life waiting instead of living. The person you wanted to become, the life you wanted to build, the experiences you dreamed of, all of it remained in the realm of someday. But someday is not a real day on the calendar. It is an excuse, a fantasy, a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of action. Look around you. The people who succeed, the ones who achieve great things, are not always the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most privileged. They are simply the ones who refuse to wait. They are the ones who understand that action, no matter how small, is always better than inaction. They don't wait for the perfect moment, they create it. They don't wait for motivation, they build it through movement. Think of a time when you actually took action despite feeling unmotivated. Maybe you didn't want to exercise, but you forced yourself to start, and after a few minutes you felt energized. Maybe you didn't feel like working on a project, but once you began, you found yourself in a state of flow. This is proof that action creates motivation, not the other way around. Waiting to feel ready is a trap because readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. Fear often hides behind procrastination. We don't put things off because we are lazy. We put them off because we are afraid. Afraid of failing, afraid of discomfort, afraid of the unknown. But what we fail to realize is that inaction is a guaranteed failure. By choosing not to act, we are choosing to stay exactly where we are. And if we are not growing, we are slowly fading. Every successful person you admire once stood at the same place you are standing right now. They had doubts, they had fears, they had reasons to wait, but they made a choice to start despite the uncertainty, despite the discomfort, and that single choice changed everything. Imagine if, instead of waiting for motivation, you created it through small, consistent actions. Imagine if instead of pushing things to tomorrow, you simply did one small thing today. What if you stopped waiting for the right time and started making progress? Even if it was messy and imperfect, life does not reward those who wait, it rewards those who act. Laziness is one of the most dangerous and deceptive habits a person can develop. It doesn't come into your life with warning signs or alarms. It doesn't feel like a threat. In fact, it feels comfortable, easy, and harmless. It disguises itself as rest, as relaxation, as a temporary break. It tells you that you are just recharging, that you'll get to your goals eventually. But in reality, laziness is slowly taking away your time, your potential, and your future without you even realizing it. Most people don't see laziness as a real problem because it doesn't create immediate damage. If you don't exercise today, nothing bad happens. If you don't work on your goals this week, no one will come knocking on your door to remind you. If you spend another month procrastinating on your dreams, life still goes on. And that's exactly why laziness is so dangerous. It kills you silently, without you noticing, without any immediate consequences. But the long-term effects are devastating. Laziness is not just about avoiding work, it's about avoiding responsibility for your own life. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you are making a decision to stay where you are instead of moving forward, a decision to remain stuck instead of growing, a decision to waste time instead of using it to build something meaningful. And what's worse, the more you choose laziness, the stronger it becomes. It doesn't just disappear one day, it grows. It takes over your mindset, your habits, and your entire way of living. At first, laziness feels like freedom. You tell yourself that you are relaxing, that you'll start tomorrow, that you deserve a break. But over time, that freedom turns into chains. You start feeling stuck, frustrated, and unhappy with yourself. You watch other people achieving their goals, moving forward, and becoming successful while you remain in the same place, making the same excuses, and then the guilt starts to creep in. You know deep down that you could do more, that you could be more, but you just can't seem to take action. That's the cruel cycle of laziness. It gives you comfort in the moment, but steals your happiness in the long run. One of the biggest lies laziness tells you is that you need motivation to start. You wait for the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect time. But the truth is, motivation doesn't come first, action does. The moment you take action, even if you don't feel like it, motivation follows. But if you sit around waiting to feel inspired, you will wait forever. Successful people don't wake up every day feeling motivated. They wake up, take action despite how they feel, and that action creates momentum. Laziness convinces you that small actions don't matter, that if you can't make huge progress immediately, then there's no point in trying. But success is built through small, consistent steps. You don't have to run a marathon today. Just take one step. You don't have to complete the entire project now. Just start. The hardest part is beginning, and once you overcome that initial resistance, everything becomes easier. Another trick laziness plays on you is making you believe that you have plenty of time, that you can afford to waste a few hours, a few days, a few weeks. But time is not unlimited. Every second that passes is a second you will never get back. And while you are sitting there thinking, I have time, someone else is using that same time to get ahead, to grow, to achieve what you only dream about. Laziness is often rooted in fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of not being good enough. So instead of trying, you avoid. Instead of putting in the effort, you tell yourself that you'll do it later. But avoidance doesn't make fear go away. It only makes it stronger. The only way to overcome fear is to take action despite it, to prove to yourself that you are capable, that you're stronger than your excuses, that you're not willing to let laziness control your life. Some people tell themselves that their laziness is just a phase, that one day they will wake up and suddenly feel motivated to change. But change doesn't happen on its own. It happens when you make a choice to stop letting laziness steal your time, your dreams, your potential. A choice to stop waiting and start doing. A choice to take responsibility for your own success. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. It doesn't appear all at once like an immediate punishment for a mistake. Instead, it creeps in slowly, growing stronger with time, until one day you look back and realize that you wasted opportunities you will never get back. It is not just a thought. It is a weight, a feeling of knowing that you could have done more, that you should have done more, but you didn't. The pain of regret is far greater than the temporary discomfort of effort, but most people only understand this when it is too late. The human mind seeks comfort. It avoids struggle, hard work, and anything that feels difficult. This is why so many people choose laziness, distractions, and procrastination over discipline and effort. In the moment, it feels like the better choice. It feels easier to relax, to delay, to put things off until later. But what people fail to realize is that every easy choice today leads to a hard life tomorrow. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you are borrowing happiness from your future self. Imagine two versions of yourself. One who chooses to put in the work now, even when it's hard, and another who avoids effort, telling themselves they'll do it later. The first version of you may struggle in the moment, but they grow, they improve, they build something meaningful. The second version of you may feel comfortable now, but years from now, they will look back and wish they had done things differently. They will wonder why they wasted so much time. They will regret not starting sooner. And the worst part, by the time they realize it, they can't go back and change anything. Regret does not come from failing. It comes from never trying. The people who take risks, who chase their dreams, who put in the work even when they don't feel like it, these people may face challenges, but they don't live with regret. They don't have to wonder what if, because they know they gave their best. But the people who let laziness, fear, and hesitation hold them back will always be haunted by the thought that they could have done more, that they wasted time they will never get back. The pain of effort is temporary. When you push yourself to do something difficult, it may feel uncomfortable in the moment, but that discomfort passes. The workout you didn't feel like doing, it lasts an hour, but the strength and confidence it builds last a lifetime. The project you didn't want to work on, it takes a few days of focused effort, but the results will impact your future. Hard work may be painful, but that pain fades. The pain of regret, however, does not fade. It stays with you, growing stronger with time, reminding you of all the chances you didn't take. People often assume they have more time than they actually do. They tell themselves, I'll start tomorrow, believing that they will always have another chance. But life does not wait. Opportunities do not last forever. The doors that are open today may not be open tomorrow. The chances you have now may never come again. And when you finally decide that you are ready, you may realize that it's too late. Time is the one thing you can never get back, and yet so many people waste it as if it is unlimited. There are people in this world who wish they had the opportunities you have right now. There are people who would give anything to have your time, your energy, your ability to make a change. But while they dream of having what you have, you sit and waste it, telling yourself you'll start later. The truth is, later is a dangerous word. It is the word that keeps people stuck, that keeps them from reaching their full potential. It is the word that leads to regret. Think of all the times you avoided effort, thinking you were making life easier for yourself. Did it actually make life better, or did it only lead to frustration, disappointment, and a sense of being stuck? Now think of the times you pushed yourself when you did something difficult despite not wanting to. Didn't those moments make you stronger? Didn't they lead to growth? The discomfort of effort is always worth it, but the comfort of laziness always comes with a price paid in regret. If you could talk to your future self, the person you will be 5, 10, or 20 years from now, what would they say to you? Would they thank you for the choices you made? Or would they look at you with frustration, wondering why you wasted so much time? The version of you that exists in the future is completely shaped by the choices you make today. Every action you take, every decision you make is either bringing you closer to success or closer to regret. Regret is not just about missed opportunities. It is about missed potential. It is about knowing that you could have been better, that you could have done more, but you allowed laziness and hesitation to hold you back. It is about realizing that you had everything you needed to succeed, but you didn't take action. And once that realization sets in, once you see how much time you lost, you can't undo it. You can only live with it. Ambition is a beautiful thing. It fills you with dreams, visions of success, and the belief that you are meant for something greater. It makes you feel alive, excited about the possibilities that lie ahead. But ambition on its own is worthless. It does not create success. It does not change lives. It does not build anything real. Without action, ambition is nothing more than a fantasy, a wish that never comes true. Many people call themselves ambitious. They talk about their dreams, the things they want to achieve, the life they want to live. They say they will start a business, write a book, change their habits, improve their health. But when you look at their actions, you see nothing. Just words, just ideas, just thoughts floating in their minds, never turning into anything real. And they wonder why they are not getting anywhere, why they feel stuck, why success seems so far away. The answer is simple. They have confused ambition with effort. Effort is what turns dreams into reality. It is what separates those who achieve from those who only wish. Effort means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means working on your goals even when no one is watching. It means pushing forward even when progress is slow. Ambition alone will never get you there. If it could, everyone would be successful, but success is reserved for those who take action, not for those who only think about it. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that because they want something badly, they will eventually get it. They believe that their dreams are enough, that their passion will naturally lead them to success. But passion without discipline is useless. It burns bright for a moment, but without consistent action, it fades away. You can dream about success all day long, but if you do not put in the work, you will never experience it. It is easy to be ambitious in your mind. It is easy to imagine yourself succeeding, to picture yourself living the life you want. But success does not happen in your imagination. It happens in the real world through hard work, through struggle, through showing up every single day and doing what needs to be done. The difference between people who achieve their dreams and those who don't is not talent, not intelligence, not luck. It is action. Some people love to plan. They make lists, set goals, write down their ambitions in notebooks. They spend hours researching, learning, preparing. But planning is not the same as doing. No matter how perfect your plan is, it means nothing if you do not take action. Planning feels productive, but it can become a form of procrastination. It gives you the illusion of progress while keeping you stuck in the same place. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people stay in the cycle of ambition without action. They are afraid of failure, of making mistakes, of looking foolish. So they stay in the safe world of dreams where nothing can go wrong. But avoiding failure also means avoiding success. Every successful person has failed more times than the average person has even tried. The only way to learn, to grow, to move forward is to take action, even if it means making mistakes along the way. Perfectionism is another excuse disguised as ambition. People tell themselves they are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect idea, the perfect plan. They convince themselves that once everything is just right, they will start. But perfection is an illusion. There will never be a perfect moment. There will always be uncertainty, challenges, and things you do not know. The only way to move forward is to start now with whatever you have and figure things out along the way. Action creates clarity. Many people do not take action because they feel uncertain. They do not know if they are making the right choice, if they are on the right path, so they wait, hoping that one day they will have all the answers. But clarity does not come from thinking, it comes from doing. When you take action, you learn. You see what works and what doesn't, you adjust, you improve, you grow. But if you never start, you will stay in the same place, trapped in endless overthinking. People often look at successful individuals and assume they had it easy. They think success came naturally to them, that they had some special advantage. But if you study the lives of truly successful people, you will see a different story. You will see struggle, failure, rejection, hard work. You will see moments when they could have given up, when things seemed impossible, but they kept going. They did not just dream, they acted, and that is why they succeeded. Discipline is the bridge between ambition and success. It is the force that separates those who achieve from those who only dream. Many people have talent, intelligence, and big ideas, but without discipline, these things mean nothing. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. It is what makes you get up and do the work even when you don't feel like it. It is what turns effort into results. People often think they need to feel inspired to take action. They believe they have to be in the right mood, the right mindset, or the perfect situation. But waiting for motivation is the fastest way to stay stuck. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Some days you will wake up excited, ready to work, full of energy. Other days you will feel tired, unmotivated, or distracted. If you only work when you feel motivated, you will never be consistent. And without consistency, you will never achieve anything meaningful. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. It means showing up every single day, whether you're excited or exhausted. It means keeping your commitments to yourself, even when no one is watching. The people who succeed are not the ones who always feel motivated. They are the ones who act despite their feelings. They push through boredom, fatigue, frustration, and self-doubt. They do the work even when they don't want to. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a year. They expect instant results. They want success overnight. But real success is built slowly through small, consistent actions repeated over time. The person who exercises for 10 minutes every day will achieve more than the person who works out for 2 hours once a month. The person who writes 1 page a day will finish a book faster than the person who waits for the perfect moment to start. The secret is not in big bursts of effort. It is in showing up consistently, day after day, even when progress seems slow. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. In the beginning, it feels difficult. Waking up early, working out, staying focused, avoiding distractions. It all feels uncomfortable. But over time, it becomes easier. Your mind and body adapt. What once felt like a struggle becomes a habit. The key is to start small. Instead of trying to change everything at once, focus on one thing. Commit to doing it every day, no matter what. Once it becomes a habit, move on to the next thing. Small steps taken consistently lead to massive change. One of the biggest enemies of discipline is excuses. People tell themselves they're too tired, too busy, too stressed. They say they will start tomorrow, next week, next month. But excuses are just lies we tell ourselves to avoid discomfort. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time. There will always be distractions, obstacles, and challenges. Successful people are not those who have fewer obstacles. They are the ones who refuse to let obstacles stop them. Comfort is the enemy of progress. It feels good to relax, to take it easy, to avoid hard work. But comfort does not lead to growth. It keeps you stuck in the same place. If you want to achieve something great, you have to be willing to do things that are difficult, uncomfortable, and sometimes painful. Growth happens when you push yourself beyond your limits, when you do things that others are unwilling to do. There will be days when you don't feel like working, when everything seems pointless, when progress feels too slow. These are the moments that define you. Anyone can work hard when they feel good, but true discipline is built on the days when you don't feel like it, when you push through anyway. Those are the days that separate winners from quitters. Some people say they lack discipline, as if it is a personality trait they were not born with. But discipline is not about who you are. It is about what you choose to do. Every day you have a choice. You can choose to be disciplined, to show up, to put in the work, or you can choose to give in to laziness, distractions, and excuses. It is not a matter of luck or genetics. It is a matter of choice. Every action you take is a vote for the person you want to become. When you choose discipline, you are building the future you desire. When you choose excuses, you are delaying your success. No one else can do it for you. No one else can push you, force you, or make you work. It has to come from within. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you take full control of your life. Success is not a straight road. It is not a smooth path where everything happens exactly as planned. It is a journey filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. The people who reach their goals are not the ones who never face difficulties. They are the ones who refuse to stop no matter how many times they fall. Every person who has achieved something great has had to push through failure, rejection, and uncertainty. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, intelligence, or luck. It is resilience. It is the ability to keep going even when things get tough. Most people give up too soon. They start with excitement, full of energy and motivation, ready to change their lives. But the moment they face resistance, they slow down. The first failure discourages them. The first setback makes them question themselves. And instead of pushing forward, they stop. They tell themselves it wasn't meant to be, that maybe they are not good enough. But the truth is, success was never about getting it right on the first try. It was always about having the courage to keep going after every failure. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every mistake, every rejection, every disappointment is a lesson. It is an opportunity to learn, to adjust, to improve. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail the most. They understand that failure is just feedback. It is a sign that something needs to change, not a reason to quit. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that struggle means they are on the wrong path. They believe that if something is difficult, it is not meant for them. But nothing worth having comes easily. Every great achievement requires effort, patience, and persistence. The struggle is what makes the victory meaningful. If success were easy, everyone would have it. The fact that it is hard is what makes it valuable. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, moments when nothing seems to be working, when you feel like you're wasting your time, when self-doubt whispers in your ear. This is when most people quit, but this is also the moment when real growth happens. Pushing through these difficult moments is what separates those who reach their goals from those who don't. When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Remind yourself of the vision you have, the dreams you are chasing. Patience is just as important as persistence. Many people expect quick results. They work hard for a few weeks, and when they don't see immediate success, they give up. But real success takes time. A tree does not grow overnight. A masterpiece is not created in a day. Anything worth building requires patience and long-term commitment. You cannot rush the process, but you can trust that every small step you take is bringing you closer to your goal. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger. Struggles are not there to break you. They are there to build you. The hardships you face today are shaping you into the person you need to become to handle the success you desire. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without obstacles, there is no strength. Resilience is a choice. It is a decision to keep going, no matter what happens. It is the belief that no matter how many times you fall, you will get back up. It is the mindset that refuses to accept failure as the final outcome. The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. The people who achieve their dreams are not the ones who never face challenges. They are the ones who kept moving forward even when everything seemed against them.